This is Juanki.
And this is Hulk.
And this is the J&H Podcast.
Let's go.
Test 1 2, test 1 2. Can you see me on the levels?
Not yet.
I hit the stage and leave with money that's like
Think up.
She picture perfect, so I
Sit on like a liquor.
I'm done with that.
Baby, I'm in the mood for a shake up. I'm gonna shake that beat. Shake that beat.
Hello, everybody. I am the Incredible Hulk.
And I am the Incredible Juanki.
And this is the J&H
Podcast. You're supposed to say it with a smile. You're supposed to smile with your mouth.
I thought you were going to say that you were the Incredible Hulk. So
No.
I thought you were going to mess up
No.
the intro. You know how it takes you 10 years to do it.
But I have been saving this question for this moment. Okay, this question came into play earlier this week for me, and I've been
What?
holding it because I want it to be organic.
Oh, you trying to throw me off?
I'm not trying to throw you off,
Got
but
it. Go ahead.
I think our relationship has hit a plateau where I finally need to introduce this to our relationship. Are you okay? Are you
Introduce
right?
it.
Are you going to be okay?
I'm listening. I don't know what you're about to say.
Okay,
but
baby. You know I love you.
let's not mess up this recording.
You know I love you, and I love you so much, right?
Stop zipping.
I know. You know, I'm itching a little bit because I'm a little nervous to ask you this, baby.
I know it's going to be something stupid.
I would like you to finally be my financial ATM.
Oh, my God.
Okay,
Shut
I
up.
understand that you're here to please me, celebrate me, adore
Yeah.
me, but can you finance me?
Yeah.
I need you to be an ATM. I want to abuse you financially. Drop a bomb on that.
You know what ATM stands for?
Go ahead.
Ass to mouth.
Oh.
That's what that stands for. So we could definitely do something around
No,
those.
that sounds
But
like
if it's
a germy situation. That sounds like gastritis to me.
a whole lot of bacteria.
A whole lot of injections and meetings at the
pills
doctors
and,
and the CDC knocking on your
itchy,
door.
itchy, yah.
What's that thing that you get from doing the human centipede? What was
Human
that?
centipede?
Yeah, Google it.
I don't know any of this.
You don't remember the human centipede? Oh, good.
I don't know. What is that, a movie?
Yeah, that is a movie.
Well, my mom watches that.
Where it was an Asian movie where they were, I guess, not terrorizing, but they were torturing
Let me guess, they
a
ate the
group of
centipede?
people, and they sewed their lips to the rectums of each other until they became a human centipede.
That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard of.
I'm sorry, but I wanna just focus on on what I was really asking you. Would you please be my ATM so I can financially abuse you? That's a thing. Do you know that's a thing, right?
No, I don't know that's a thing because
that's a type of relationship.
my skin color says hell to the knob.
Wait, you don't want to be financially abused by your husband?
I get financially abused by the IRS. I don't want to be financially abused by my husband.
But I was watching it on the YouTube. Apparently, these men get pleasure out of the women taking the money. Like, give me all your money.
Yeah,
You're good for nothing. Give me your cash.
Yeah,
That's
no.
what I want. Can you just?
Listen. I'm gonna refrain from.
How
saying,
about this? Let's try it once, and when you start getting the feeling, I'm gonna point the feeling at you. Like that's the feeling, and then you just try to convert it into a positive.
So you're saying they get pleasure from this?
They get pleasure
I
from
will
being
be
financially
enraged.
abused.
I will literally turn green and into the Hulk.
These women just completely nearly bankrupt these white men. Notice how I said white men.
Yeah, I heard that one chick on the internet say, "Oh, my white man in the other room," like, just like
Well,
you
he was.
call him by his skin color.
Well,
though?
he's a
Like-
sugar daddy.
Like Jesus Christ.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the opening monologue. Okay.
Oh my God.
How are you, baby?
That is crazy. I'm okay. Like I've been stuck with this never-ending cold. I feel like I've been consistently sick. Like first it was COVID, and then I'm pretty sure it was the flu.
Yeah,
that
I'm
gave
sorry
me
I
both.
gave you the flu.
You gave me
No,
both.
you brought the COVID in here.
Where? From where?
From gallivanting
you
with
brought-
people
oh
in the
my God.
elevator.
You brought
I told you not to
COVID
talk to them white
here.
people in the elevator,
You
but you
brought
kept
the
hi,
flu
how you doing?
here.
Yeah. Like, don't talk to those people.
Listen, I'm a people person, but you keep bringing these damn viruses to this house. And it's crazy.
So-
I feel like
we got over the COVID, and I honestly, I didn't even feel like I got over the COVID because it's like I had COVID in like 2-3 days, and then I got a flu or cold or something.
It was a smooth transition.
It was a horrible transition, and I felt like I was dying. I had like 104
Oh yeah,
fever.
his fever did get up to 104, and I had to put the cold water on him and everything like that. His body was on fire, like. And you know, the crazy thing is that we pass these sicknesses back and forth because, you know, most people get sick and they be like, "Oh, I'm gonna sleep in the other room."
Yeah,
I can't do that to you.
No,
Like,
we nearly are doing the human centipede every night. So
You and his centipede. Jesus Christ.
Google it.
Nah, it's just that, like, I have to watch you sleep when you're really sick. Like, I get so
I know.
scared.
I woke up and it was like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and you were just laying there looking at me, and I'm like, "Oh my God, did you stay up the whole night?
I stayed
you
up the
creepo?
whole night.
Why? You
watching
think I'm gonna die in the middle of my sleep?
I just don't like the way you be breathing.
Well, baby, we all gonna go at some point.
Yeah, just don't go, because then you're shit in the bed, and then
There is a last like moment release, yes, of the body. You know that, right?
Yes,
That
I
there's
just
a last.
said that.
They let the chamber go. The body lets the chamber.
Let busting off shots.
Yeah, it could be.
No.
It could be a quick pee or.
I can't, because you know what it is, because you're so dramatic when you're
I'm
sick.
not dramatic.
You are over the top.
No.
You are
I'm
dying. You're just you. I can't breathe. Everything hurts. Like, you are.
But I couldn't
horrible.
breathe, and everything was hurting. What are you talking about?
No, but you make, like I say, on a scale of 1 to 10. Now, in the hospital, when they ask you on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 is like, we got to give you morphine or knock you out.
Ooh,
you say, I'm at a
morphine or
9.
knock you
I'm
out.
like, what?
Let me tell you something. Now that transitioning to knocking the fucks out,
Oh, yeah.
whew, baby. I don't care how it sounds. I don't give a damn. I was getting my entire fucking life for 30 seconds, okay? For 30 seconds, I absolutely loved it last week. Last week or this week?
It was, last week, because today's, yes.
Baby, I got in there at 6:45 in the morning after a little scuffle with the front desk person who me and her were not on the same motherfucking page. Tell you that much, but I was gonna get my dosage today.
You got it?
Oh, baby, it was 6:45.
Talk about
The
it.
gentleman came and he said, "Mr. Pro, I see that this is your 3rd time here." I said, "Yes, it is. Do you have any allergies?" "No, I do not." They're like, I saw something in your chart about asthma." "Oh, yeah, that's that." And next thing you know, he's putting the what do they call that?
The
IV in my thing, and
Your
I was
arm.
like in my arm, and I was like, okay, and there was nothing. He just puts the plastic thing in there, and so he's like, "This is just the plastic." And I was joking with him. I said, "Do you get people that say, 'Ooh, I feel it'?" I feel like all the time because they associate it with, and I'm like, because it's empty. It's just the the little port.
The valve, yeah.
And then he said, "Okay, we're ready to go." And I'm like, "Oh, we're rock and rolling, ready to rock and roll." He said, "Yes, the doctor has been here since like 20 minutes." And then he wheels me into the operating room. Well, it wasn't an operating room.
Procedure room.
Into the procedure room, and I see Dr. So-and-so there, and she comes over. She's like, "Hey, Mr. Pro, how you doing?" I'm like, "Good morning." She's like, "Okay, you have any questions for me?" I'm like, "No, I know exactly." And she's like, "Okay, well, we'll talk when you wake up. Okay, bye." And then they put me to the side. They find the little port. And the other doctor, the anesthesiologist, is like, "Well, Mr. Pro, you've been here before. You know how it is." And I feel him already putting it in. And he goes, "You're going to start feeling warm." Oh, and I felt warm. And then he said, "You're going to start feeling," and then you hear, he said, "You're going to feel it in the back of your throat and you're going to cough, baby." And then it's like the spotlight went out. It was like all dark. And I said, "Good night." And I woke up, what, an hour later maybe?
About an hour, yeah.
And the nurse, who was a queen, a Latin queen at that.
Uh-oh.
He was like, "Okay, wake up." And I tried to get up, and it was like the room was spinning, so I had to like lay back down. And I was like, "Where's my husband? Is my husband?" He was like, "We gave him a call already." Long story short, ladies and gentlemen, I went in for endoscopy.
Endoscopy.
Yes. I needed them to look at my insides.
Yeah.
And I know I just described a very, very...
It sounded like sex for a little
I
bit.
know, no.
Jesus.
You know what? It's crazy. I can understand Michael Jackson and what he did with the propofol. I can understand it because you know you and I work so hard, baby.
Yeah.
And especially the last couple of weeks have been very. I don't want to say rough because we're doing what we need to be doing.
It's been rough. It's been rough.
So to know that I was gonna get to really get some deep
rest.
sleep, baby. Some deep. I know it was anesthesia, but I was. Ooh.
You was out.
I was out.
Now I'm kind of jealous because I didn't even think of it from that perspective. Like, that sounds amazing.
It was.
To just get some nice, uninterrupted, forced to sleep.
Yes. They shut me down, baby. Like I said, I was laying down and I'm looking at the doctor, and all of a sudden it's like the spotlight went out. Like it
just
like
fade to
a
black?
circle of darkness was coming around, and I was in the tunnel, and then whoop.
Maybe that's the tunnel people see when they're dying.
They see a different tunnel. They see a tunnel with light. I was seeing a tunnel getting dark.
Yeah, which is the opposite.
Like literally, like the theater was going dark. Like the lights were going down.
I got you.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Jesus Christ, that sounds amazing though. I feel like I haven't got rest. Like, because we've been going and still working, even being sick. So
yeah,
I don't know, babe. I'm like ready for a nice vacation. Like I am ready for a vacation.
We're gonna touch on the vacation in a minute, but speaking of what's going on this month.
Well, of course, it's Hulk History Month.
Yay!
Which is Black History Month. Shout out to my ancestors. I always have to, cheer for myself. So, how do you feel about Black History Month?
Well, I consider myself to be a black man.
Well, you are black, but you're of African descent. I feel like I'm black of African descent and you're Hispanic of African descent.
Okay, do I need to pull the DNA results?
No.
Maury.
It's African descent.
Where is Maury?
Like, listen,
okay.
you know what's crazy though?
Let the people know. Open up the book on the people that are listening,
open up the book.
please.
Let me
open
say,
up the book.
It was like this thing, like white people who were saying, oh, well, why do black people get to have black pride and a white person with white pride is considered a racist hillbilly? I was like, that's because you are a racist hillbilly. Because it's like...
And the pride that they're displaying is the Confederate flag.
It's that, and then their skin color. Like white pride is literally the pride that their skin is without melanin and pigment and just pasty. You know what I'm saying? Like black people, the reason why we have black pride is because that's all we have. Like we're not black, the color, like we're different shades of brown. Black is like our race,
right? Because
we were raped from Africa. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I did that DNA test, and there is a percentage of that, Spaniard in there.
Of course.
We know what the history was. Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure, like most black people who do their DNA, it's not going to be 100% African.
Right.
Like we're from Africa, because these white people were doing what they were doing to things they consider animals, and you know how they love animals. So, and they consider black people animals. But that's what I was saying. Like black people, when we say like black pride or black power, it's because that's our race. That's what we are, and essentially like where we're from. Because there's not a black person that can be like, oh, I'm from such and such in Africa. They can tell us, oh, you are from this region in Africa, but they can't tell us what tribe we're from or what country in Africa we're from or what our people, like who our people are. We just know we come from that region. Like a white person can literally be like, I'm Italian, and you're from Italy. They can be French and they're from France. They can be Irish and they're from Ireland. Like they know where they're from. So for them to say white pride instead of Irish pride or Italian pride, that's when white pride becomes racist. You know what I'm saying? Because they know where they're from. They know where their grandparents are from. Like my line stops eventually because of slavery.
Right.
And I just had to say that. So for all you white people who think white pride is fine, it's not. You know where you're from, we don't. And we don't even have anything in common with African people. Like, if you want to be completely honest, like our cultures are different. Like we are from there, but we had to literally develop our own style, our own, even Ebonics. Like that's like our own language and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just crazy to me. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure I got that out.
Yeah, but it is Black History Month, and I've been doing this little project on my YouTube page where I am highlighting not your typical standard Black History Month profiles that they put out there. And you've been there while I've been doing it. What's your thoughts on some of the folks that we've discussed?
I think that it's a dope thing what you're doing, because I am learning things that I didn't know.
Yeah, I'm like discovering all of these people that were inventors and creators and advocates and activists and people who march,
doctors,
and people who
like
created products and millionaires and
because they don't teach us that in school. They teach us that black people were slaves. And and the crazy part is that they will literally talk about Egypt, the pharaohs, in a different context, as if they're not even African or black.
Yeah.
They say Egypt, they study Egypt, the pharaohs, the all of that. And then Africa is, you were slaves. Harriet Tubman was a slave that ran. Martin Luther King, that's it. They don't teach us about inventors or great thinkers. And they ignore all the people that have contributed to society. So the things that you have been doing is spotlighting a lot of people that we should know. And it's I'm ashamed that I don't know.
Yeah. No, and I'm discovering too. So that we got a couple more, like another week and a half of profiles that I'm going to be putting out. So make sure that you check me out on YouTube, Juanki's World or Juanki Pro. You'll find me through one of those hashtags in YouTube, and you can see the profiles. It's been very nice doing it. I've learned a lot, so I'm enjoying doing that. But going from a group of people who have...
Wait, hold on. You know what, though? I do want to say this, too, about Black History Month. Do you think that it's necessary?
Absolutely, it's necessary. Absolutely, of course, because it not only does it, especially for young people, that are not getting this information in the school setting or even through social media, it allows for parents, for siblings, for grandparents, educators to have that conversation.
In that moment.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's White Day, every other day, aside from, February. So, absolutely, yes.
I've been going back and forth with that. At first, I was like, Black history is American history. But the problem is that Black history is in conflict with American history, because they want to talk about the Revolutionary War and they want to talk about all of that. But then all of the hatred and racism were going on at the same time. So it's like, do they want to talk, they paint white people as the victor and the savior in every aspect of American history, but they ignore the part where these same people are killing, beating, raping Black people while using them to fight in these wars. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I was like, I think Black History Month is a necessity because it needs its own sidebar so they can discuss the things that were happening at the same time as that white history.
Right.
And white history is fake and it's wrong anyway. But let's move on before.
Well, going from a group of people who were discovering advanced us in all areas of life, right, to another group of people who are completely destroying New York City. And if anybody within the reach of my voice has a problem, y'all know how to get down in the box below and say what you gotta say. Say your piece, speak your truth.
Let's talk about it.
Okay? These goddamn migrants.
These leeches.
I have no respect. New York City has gone to hell in a handbasket sprinkled in gasoline. Okay? I have no respect. Don't wave your child in front of me when you have a husband or a baby daddy or a brother or a nephew or a niece or an uncle who's doing everything and anything but being fucking a law-abiding person because you're not even a citizen.
But you know what?
And I can say that. Oh, but he sounds Latino. Yeah, my family, first of all, I'm generations after generations of my family tree were born here in New York City. And the ones that came and settled here came through a legal motherfucking process. A legal process. To me, if you don't come through a legal process, you don't have any rights. You don't deserve any rights. And then for you to come here and let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I had a goddamn Venezuelan woman.
I knew that was gonna come up.
Cause I had gotten home from work I decided to pop my head into a fast food establishment, which shall remain nameless. And the bitch tried to get me to buy her some chicken nuggets. And because then I started translating between her and the cash register, right? And when I translated and told her how much it was gonna be, she gave me the dirtiest. I could have slapped the shit out of her back to Venezuela. I'm telling you, you can call it whatever you want to call it. I am disgusted by the way the New York City and the United States is handling how they have clearly. Let me tell you, I've always knew racism to be a thing. But I have never seen it so blatantly displayed in my face as to have veterans, homeless American citizens who are struggling with mental illness or people who are in shelters be second, third, fourth class citizens to these people who literally invaded the United States, are shoplifting at Macy's on 34th Street, are getting into fights. And then you get the media. You get the media who won't even tell you it's a fucking migrant.
They're protecting it.
They will say it was somebody who's bilingual, or somebody who didn't understand English, or somebody who was registered at the migrant shelter. So you mean a migrant?
Wait, so because I speak Ebonics and English, am I bilingual?
No, because Ebonics is not a...
It's a language.
It's not a
We have our own dictionary.
Language.
Wow.
Not
Black
the
History
Urban
Month.
Dictionary.
And Black History Month, and you're
play with me.
Degradate us.
Do not
I know that's not a
play
word.
with me.
No, I get you. No, I think it is it's crazy how they're allowing these people to come here, commit crimes, get released. They're affording them the rights that we, especially as black and brown people here, had to fight for these rights, for equal treatment, and they literally let in illegal immigrants and told them, now you can get on top of the black and brown people.
Not only that,
have been
they
here.
are literally handing down prepaid cards that can be used at the bodega for food or baby items.
That's crazy.
So now that opens up the range of things that we could consider a baby item, right? To be used at the bodegas and deli shops in New York City.
I mean,
up to $1,000 on a plastic card.
I think that's good for the economy of New York. But the problem is that that's coming out of taxpayers' money.
And the fact that the taxpayers, i.e. me, don't have a say on where, if you gave me a choice, okay, give it to the migrant shelter or give it to the homeless population of Harlem or the South Bronx or Flatbush, Brooklyn.
I would give it to them.
And I don't have a choice.
You heard they opened up the lottery.
They did open up the lottery to the night shot to the projects, because they're trying to place all these migrants
in there. I said that. I was like, they didn't open it up because they would have been opening it up for our people.
How come it wasn't open 2 years ago? In the middle of a pandemic, how come it wasn't open there?
And it's crazy how, and you know, the funny thing is that they were already talking about the food insecurity in America and how, you know, food banks were running short on food. You know, it's difficult for people to get jobs. And then they bring these people in here and then give them food and trying to give them government jobs. That part blew my mind.
What I need is for Donald Trump. I don't need him to walk. I don't need him to run. I need somebody to wheel him as fast, roll him in as fast. I need somebody to grab his hand on that executive order. January 3rd.
He already got those shits pre-written.
I'm just saying.
Hold up.
And I volunteer to drive the paddy wagon for a shift.
Listen.
Okay?
Did you hear what he just said?
I want to see them being dragged into the back of a paddy wagon and driven back to Austin, Texas, and walked across that Rio Grande.
Let me tell you something. I got two statements here. Number one, did you hear Donald Trump when he was at his last rally, I think in South Carolina?
No, baby, no.
And
I'm not watching politics.
No, it was
like
just
that.
a random clip, and he was saying, it's so bright out here. All I can see is the black people. I can't see no white.
Did not say that.
He said it just like that. I was dying. Everybody was like, oh, this is the most racist thing. I was like, that is funny as hell. He's like, all I can see is the blacks. I was like, the blacks? Like, okay. But
Let me just say this. and I hate to have to go back to this, but when I look at Trump and I look at Biden, I think Biden and the Biden administration has actually hurt black people more than I ever saw Donald Trump. I'm sorry.
I agree.
I may be missing something. I may not be knowing everything, but not that I know everything. But I'm just saying, when I think of both of them, and I think of one of these things is not like the other, I feel like the Biden administration has literally set black people back further than the Trump administration ever did.
I don't think it's setting us back. They just placed a whole bunch of people in front of us and kept us in the same spot. But they just gave everybody else a front pass. Like, they will literally help the Jewish people. They help the Asians. Remember when the Asians, like 6 people got beat up? I just saw somebody
somebody just got 15 years in prison for Asian
hate crime.
Yeah.
But you can still run around and say the N-word and not go to jail.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No, but the people who remember the black young man who was running in the neighborhood? Mm-hmm. What was his name?
You're not talking about Trayvon.
Recently, not Trayvon. No. He was running.
Rest in peace.
And this was like 2 years ago, during COVID times. Anyway, those 3 white.
Oh, the one that was jogging.
Yeah.
And the 3 white hillbillies in the truck.
You know that they just gotten into the appeals court to appeal their convictions.
Don't come on.
Yeah. They actually are getting.
They're getting
heard. Yeah.
This is crazy. Well, this is white America. You know what I learned, and this is gonna sound crazy. I believe that the Democrats do a good job of doing the throwing stones and hiding their hands. Like, they talk about racism all the time because they know that black people feel like, oh, racism is bad. Black people are like, yeah. Like, oh, black people need equality. Yeah. And they get the black people excited and they go out and they vote for these people and they never do nothing for the black people. They never do anything, yeah. Like, and I was like, Democrats just do a good job talking about black people and suffrage and their rights, but they never do nothing for black people. They don't. They've never named it. What did Joe Biden do for black people? Like, specifically, knowing that the black population has been, hurt throughout the existence of America. All these Democrats running around saying this bullshit, talking about how America is not a racist country. And you voting for these Democrats that's saying that? Everybody and their mother knows that America is racist, is deep. And you're voting for people who are literally going to get up here and say that. And you know what? I said that, what is his name? Bernie Sanders. Let me tell you something. That is the only white politician that I trust. You know why I trust him?
Why?
Because he's went to jail fighting for our rights. He has a record for help. Mm-hmm. He's a white man who could have just been chilling and said, F these black people, but he literally took his life to fight for us. That's a person you trust. Hillary, what has she done? What has Biden done? Literally, you get clips of Biden saying, F these fat.
Now let's fast forward. What do you think is going to happen come November? Who's going to get into the White House?
Man, I don't even think Joe Biden's going to live that long. So he is like out of here. He's on life support, walking around.
They say that he's like senile and all of that he has dementia and the whole nine.
There's a bunch of old white people.
Okay. So to wrap this section up.
I think Donald Trump is going to win. He's just beat Nikki Haley in her own state. Mm-hmm. Donald Trump is going to win.
Okay.
If they allow him to vote, he's going to win. To run, he's going to win. 100%.
We're going from one person with dementia to another.
And this is sad. So, and you are a big fan of hers. How do you feel about everything that's going on with Wendy Williams?
Wendy. Whitney. Oh, my Lord. Have I waited for this day? You have? Oh, yes, I have. Haven't you? Yeah, Wendy. Listen, it's definitely sad. I think there are certain people that got their jollies out of watching the demise of this woman. I've been really reflecting and thinking about Wendy, and they have not watched the documentary. I've seen clips, and you know what got me to not watch the documentary was that one clip they released like a week ago where Black China and her were actually talking, because up to that point I had only seen the picture, right? But then she was actually talking, and to see that Wendy was not following the conversation, and I said, I cannot dude, I cannot watch this. It's very sad. And then I've had friends send me clips of her just losing it and just being really mean and bitter and angry at her assistants and her hired help. I'm gonna say this: there is a selected group of people who grew up or who dealt with Wendy, right? I'm talking about artists who probably got their jollies out of watching this, you know. But I think we need to have compassion. I think that it's extremely sad. It's also a testament to you have to be good to your body when you are in your younger years. She was very open and candid about this. She was into heavy cocaine use back in the late 80s, early 90s. So you don't know what that stuff was mixed up with.
Oh, that was the pure stuff.
She you know, she told stories of her picking it up anywhere and everywhere.
Oh my God!
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. You don't know what was mixed with
sheetrock.
Well, you don't know what she was mixing these things with. Aside from, you know, other vices that she has not, you know, been clean with, or let us know. You know, just because she's told us this part doesn't mean she's told us everything, right?
And you know what it does to the brain.
Things that she was ashamed of. So, you know, to see, and then she had Graves' disease on top of that.
Yeah.
And then the alcoholism, you know, she would be drinking live on radio every single day. Now, back then, when you look at it, when we were looking at it, it was like, oh, they're just having fun. They're just getting into the groove. But now you look at it, it was like every single day. They literally had a bar in the, which I was like, wait, how could you have a bar and drink at your job? Isn't this a job?
Yeah, but it's Wendy.
Still, but it's like a radio station with a full bar.
Well,
they will open bottles of Hennessy.
They still do that now, though.
But I thought there was something about you can't like drink liquor on air. Just like you can. So you can't curse, but you can literally get inebriated
you can
on
say the N-word
radio.
Now.
Like
but
because that's not the radio, right? That's
like
internet
Breakfast
radio.
Club. I listen to the Breakfast Club. They say the N-word
on the radio.
On the radio, they say a lot of things, and they smoke weed on the radio and everything now. So
weed is legal, so that's different.
Alcohol is legal too, babe.
But Wendy, just very sad.
It is.
Do I think that they took advantage of her to do this documentary?
They're doing it, yes.
I don't think so, because the family was actually for it. The people, I know you mentioned that earlier when we were preparing for the show, and I did some research. It's not actually the family that was fighting it's actually the conservatorship. So the person that's in charge of her, they're the ones who were trying to block it. The family was actually for putting the video
exploiting her.
out.
Then they're exploiting her.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you think? First of all, you know Wendy Williams. Just even if you don't know her personally, you followed her, read her books and things like that. Do you think she would want to be on TV with her wig off?
I think that when you, I'm gonna say this. I believe that she is the executive producer of her thing. She signed up for it, and I think that she wanted this story to be told. This is based on what I've known
A woman
of
with
her.
dementia cannot sign off on
But
things.
she didn't start with it wasn't, and as I'm told, because I haven't seen the documentary, but she starts very solid in the beginning.
Oh, so this is
And then
basically
it
just shows the
declines.
decline?
Exactly.
I feel so bad for her.
It shows the decline. But she's, she's there. You could tell that there's something off, but she was still coherent.
A little bit lucid. And,
exactly.
It's crazy. There will never be another Wendy Williams. And it's kind of sad to say, like, there's only certain people who can be truly one of a kind and authentic. Because, nowadays, it's cool to be a clone and to do what everybody else is doing. No one can do what Wendy did. And it's sad to see her like this, knowing that she's
inspired and opened the doors to a lot of people. And I'm gonna say this, it's a mixture of things, right? Definitely the health issues due to the abuse that her body endured, right? Mm-hmm. But also the death of her mother pushed her to a certain level,
Kevin.
and then Kevin and that child.
That's crazy.
That literally, when I think of her story, I see how love, family, and drug abuse can really just destroy. I mean, drug abuse only, but because she had overcame those things, but when faced with the death of the mother, and then Kevin, and then the child, and then him buying a whole mansion down the block,
that gave her the nervous breakdown.
That literally over and over and over. When you've been online, on air, pretty much talking about this business, and now for you, how embarrassing.
Trying to hold it together, and now
And then
so
after
bad.
all of that, then you're gonna come through in the courts and still try to get her to pay for you and your baby mama.
Oh yeah, that's when murder would happen. Unalivement. I mean, unalivement would happen. I would go crazy. I wish you would.
But she has.
I wish you would.
And she has.
But I thought she was faking at first.
Honestly, I thought she was
saying,
faking it too.
you ain't getting none of this money.
I thought she was gonna pull the big okie doke on all of us.
And come busting out.
But no, she now has a diagnosis. She has the same thing that Bruce Willis has. Which
Shout out to Bruce Willis. Oh my God, I loved a lot of his movies too. Jesus.
renders her eventually not being able to communicate.
And you know what that does to your body, right? It basically, it gets to a point where your brain is basically not communicating with the rest of your body.
Right.
And they say that you know how we involuntary breathe? Mm-hmm. It will just
Shut down?
disconnect and
Yeah.
they would literally suffocate to death.
It's like Parkinson's. They say that Parkinson's, they forget to eat, to swallow. So some of them starve.
I can't. Listen, I love Wendy Williams, and I still listen to some of her throwbacks, and I still watch some of her clips online, and she's going to be as a statue in this industry as one of the greats. So,
It's also, it also makes you think. You work so hard, and you store your money, you stash your money, and now she can't even enjoy her own money. She literally has an administrator who's getting a cut for administrating, and he has kept her away from, he's kept away from her family. The family did not even know what facility she was in. That she was only allowed to call them once a week from a black number, so they could never call back. They could not get in touch with her. She literally is kidnapped.
This is why I say money doesn't matter as much. I enjoy the money that we have, but it's not the most, like, you are the most important thing.
And I think it's also important to, as you work hard, you spend hard with the people you love. Because at the end of the day, when you take that last breath, you ain't gonna be walking down that tunnel with your briefcases of money.
Listen, what about that? Remember that old lady that I told you about, where she was saying that she's 67 and she thought that at this age she would be retired and not working, and she's still working, and she said she has no money, no 401k, no retirement, and she didn't and she said she's literally gonna have to work until the day she dies. It's making me sad just thinking about this. Like, these people really work this hard, and they, like, that's their life. Now look at Wendy. She did all of this, got all this money, all this fame, and now she just can't even enjoy it. She can't do nothing, man. Right. It's sad.
Well, speaking of spending well, the winter is over.
Spending well. That was a horrible transition.
I'm not done with my transition.
Oh, go ahead.
Yet.
You
have to understand.
You said, speaking of spending, winter's almost over?
Yeah, winter's almost over, isn't it?
Thank God. I hate this
After
cold
winter,
shit.
what did Lauryn Hill say?
After winter must come spring.
After winter comes spring.
Something,
but
something
I'm like fashion. I'm 2 seasons ahead, baby. So going back to the spending well.
Wait, 2 seasons ahead?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say, isn't that back in fall?
No.
I know, I got it.
No.
I know.
Are you okay?
I'm okay. I'm still thinking about,
you need
not
a break?
spending money. No. So summer. So you already thinking about the summer?
Yes, and where I'm taking us for vacation.
I cannot wait.
And I bring it back to saying, you sure you don't want to be my ATM? Could we get into an ATM role play?
You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna get into leaving you in a third world country somewhere.
I'm trying. Well, I got the. I'm looking at. You have worked very hard, baby.
Oh,
you have
my
worked
God.
very hard. You've put in long hours. You've been developing your thing. And I've been there. And I think it's just time for you to really relax. R&R. Let me handle all the stuff like I always do.
Don't I look tired?
Oh, you are tired through and delayed.
I look delayed.
I just want you to say yes to the vacation that I have planned.
I just want.
It's a simple budget of $14,000. Drop a bomb on that.
Oh my God, no.
No.
No, we're gonna go. I don't care.
Don't you think you deserve it?
No, we
babe?
do. At first,
deserve it.
we spent a lot of money on some BS last year. I'm definitely down to doing it for a vacation.
Yeah.
As long as I have a butler and it's a first class flight.
Oh.
And it's an all inclusive experience.
Hold on.
And
No,
it's
no.
private.
We always have a butler. This time we get 2 butlers. 2 butlers.
Oh, shout out to Black History.
2 butlers. No, they're not black butlers. They're Hispanic butlers.
Hey, I want white ones. Let me stop. I wouldn't even trust a white butler. Like, did you wash your hands?
I know. Oh my God.
My God. Like,
do you own or have you ever owned a dog?
yo, for real. Yo, listen, we went into this restaurant and saw a dog at the table, and we were sitting down because, everybody has a freaking safety
Emotionally
pet.
support.
Yeah, all these fragile ass people.
What about us and our emotions?
My face started itching. I sat down. I seen the waitress walk past this nasty ass man with this nasty ass dog with this nasty ass dog bed, and he's feeding the dog like off the plate with his hands. Ooh. Disgusting. And I was like, babe, you realize that this waitress is sitting here grabbing these dog plates and probably pet this dog because she was white too. And white people love face these dogs.
Oh my God.
And I just can't. I know. I just can't. I was like, we have to leave. I would never.
Bringing it back to the vacation.
She almost gave me a moment. I'm sorry. I'm excited for the vacation.
Okay, so I am in the process of planning our vacation. My budget is $15,000. Okay.
Oh my God.
$15K. Can I get you to say yes in the mic?
You know what?
In front of these people?
I want these people to write.
It's a yes or no question.
Where you guys go on vacation?
What is your budget?
Place?
What is your budget?
And
where do you go?
This is gonna be.
The funny thing is that ever since I got with you, I don't put a budget on our vacations because I feel like we deserve it. We deserve it.
That sounds crazy.
You
had a budget before me?
I did have a budget before.
Well, you know what though? Because our income together is crazy.
Exactly.
So we don't really need
I had a budget before me because it was just me. I was doing for me.
I've been taking care of you since the day I
met you.
Yo, I love
Turn
that.
up, Greg. Turn up, Greg.
What was her name?
Quad.
Yeah.
Who is 98% African.
98. Yo, she African.
She
you can tell by the forehead.
Yes, the structure of
that head.
Yeah,
she got that sphinx head.
gives me Zimbabwe.
All right.
No, she gives me Zimbabwe thrive.
No.
The Zulu.
No, I will not climb down off my chariot.
Well, I'm 73% from Ghana and the Ivory Coast and Accra.
Listen, I know I'm 100% from one of them slave camps from the South. That's it. I can't even tell you. I just know I'm mixed with Native American and slave.
Well, babe, this has been fun.
It has.
Are you feeling a little bit better?
No.
Me neither.
But
so I let's go ahead and wrap this up. There will be more to come on our summer vacation.
Yes, we're going to talk about it all. Make sure you guys leave some comments down below. Let's talk about vacations. Who do you got for this election? I want to know what you guys think about this migrant crisis. And did you watch the Wendy Williams excerpt or whatever they call it? And what do you think about it? Leave us some messages so we can read them next time we do our podcast.
Thank you for listening. And Baby Hulk, take us out.
Baby Hulk, take us out. Really? Yes, we can be found on all major streaming platforms. Anywhere you get your podcast, you can find us.
Or you can stream us at www.jnhpodcast.com. There you will find a player and you can stream us right off our website.
Hey.